It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
When all is said and done, we're just willing each other home. Ram Dass. This quote is currently guiding Trista Davis in her day-to-day experience as her life unfolds. This pandemic has been tough on everyone, and Trista is so grateful for her community at Above Average Yoga and Wellness. When Trista started her business 6 years ago, she had no idea that it would become a catalyst for her own personal healing. Trista owns an inclusive, body positive, and adaptive yoga studio, but it is so much more than that. It's a community of like-minded people walking each other home. Personal and spiritual growth has always been a priority for Trista, and she likes to do something each day to move her life forward. She also loves to share those daily practices with those around her and is passionate about helping other humans to discover themselves through meditation, yoga, breathwork, healing modalities, and self-inquiry. Welcome, Trista. Trista, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you. Let's start with, where do you call home?
So I call home Edmonton, Alberta. I was born and raised in the area. I grew up in Wetaskiwin, moved to Morinville as a teenager, and ended up in Edmonton as an adult. So yeah, I call Edmonton home.
Awesome. Would you rather be able to express yourself accurately or always have to say the exact truth?
So this is a tough question, but I have to go with accurately because I believe that everybody has their own interpretation of the truth anyway. So I'd rather be able to articulate myself well and have people find their own truth rather than speaking in my absolute truth all the time.
That's a great answer. Yeah, that's a great answer.
Thank you.
What's a common thing you think about when you're alone?
When I'm alone, I think a lot about how the mind works and kind of our purpose as humans. I've recently come to a conclusion of my own that our purpose here on this planet is love, no matter who we are and what we're about. And so I've really been exploring that through listening to other teachers talk about it, my own self-inquiry, journaling, all that stuff. And of course, I love to daydream about the future, and of course, when we can get back to traveling, because that's an important part of my life.
Yes. You can go back to Playa del Carmen.
Yeah. My second home is Playa del Carmen.
Yeah. Do you have property there already?
I don't. Unfortunately, in Mexico, you have to purchase in cash. And being an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur at my stage in life, I don't have the cash to do that. So, but one day I'm hopeful. I know some guys from Saskatchewan actually that build condos there. They're fantastic. And I hope to own one of their properties one day.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that, because I think that would be incredible. Yeah. How do you celebrate your wins?
I celebrate my wins usually in the bathtub. I spend a lot of time in the bathtub, like maybe almost an unhealthy amount of time in the bathtub. But there's nothing I like more than like lighting a candle, getting my special salt mix just right, and getting in the tub. But I do love a good dinner with my husband or friends as well. And then, of course, I've also had some amazing celebrations with my community. So, yeah, those are kind of the three ways I like to celebrate. Have a party.
Party.
Yeah.
You have your Above Average Yoga and Wellness. That's your business that you've created. But it's, more than just a business. You've created a community of women. Mm-hmm. was that your original intent when you started Above Average Yoga, or did it just evolve into the community that it is?
You know, not even a little bit. I think about this a lot, and just like how fortunate and grateful I am that it's evolved that way, because the community that's been created through Above Average Yoga and Wellness has been such a big catalyst to my own healing. But no, like when I opened the studio, I was like, this is fitness based, and we're just all going to move better together in a safe, comfortable, inclusive environment. I never anticipated the community that we would have, or all the different things that we do now, right? Yeah. So
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great place to go. Yeah. Feel safe, feel comfortable. I know myself, I enjoy coming. How many times have you tried and failed at achieving the same goals in your past, whether it be personal or business?
I mean, I will be the first to admit that like my life is full of failure. I actually started my first business when I was 16, and that was doing nails. Like, and I don't even have nails now. And so I think about that a lot. Like, I have tried and failed so many times. And, you know, when I originally started this business, it was really scary because I knew nothing about it. I wasn't even a yoga teacher when I opened a yoga studio. But yeah, I think that failure is a part of success, and they just kind of go hand in hand. So
absolutely, I agree 100%. Would you say there are any obstacles that are in your way that you're reluctant to face right now?
Right now, if I'm being transparent, I'm worried about reopening. We've basically been closed for 17 months. You know, there was a period we were open for a bit in 2020, but effectively we've been closed since December. And yeah, I worry about if people are going to come back, if it's going to be the same. So that obstacle has me a little paralyzed. I was actually going to put out a survey today to my community and being like, what do you guys want? Because I don't know what I want. And then another obstacle that I faced this year was moving the studio online. I was very reluctant to do it. But eventually I did move through it because it was that or have nothing. And so I chose to do that.
Well, I, for one, am thankful that you went online, because I, you know, did my chair yoga and I did a few restorative classes, and I was so thankful that I could do that online. You know, it was with familiar instructors, which I was comfortable with. And even some of the people that joined in the classes are women that I know from your studio. And so for me, it was, okay, I don't have to start this from scratch, and you don't feel completely alone, right? Yeah. So I really appreciated that. How long did you commit to your success before you gave up at anything that you've, you know, like you, I mean, you started a nail business. How long before you were like, oh, this isn't for me?
You know, with the nail business, it didn't take long because I realized very quickly that I just didn't like it. And so for me, like, I will commit to my success until it becomes really burdensome for me. So I would say with the nail salon, it was about 6 months.
Oh, wow. It didn't take very long.
No. And then like some other businesses I've been in, you know, about a year. With the current business, like I've been ready to give up a bunch of times, but honestly, it's like the community that keeps me going. And also like, I don't know the answer to the question, if I wasn't doing this, what would I be doing? Right. So it's like, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, period.
Do you feel like you're in your home?
Yeah, totally.
That's great. That's awesome. Was there anything like in your, I mean, this last year and a half has been, I mean, it's the pivot season, right? So you already touched on being reluctant. Is there anything that when you look back that you wish you had done maybe sooner, or maybe, maybe something you would have done differently?
Yeah, I mean, definitely in the last year and a half, I wish that I would have gone to an official online platform faster. I was reluctant to learn the technology was really where it was at. We were on Facebook for just a really long time, like almost a year. And then we switched to more of like an actual online studio platform. And so that's one of the pivots. And then also, I wish I would have taken some time off sooner. I didn't think that I could afford it or that things would fall apart without me. And I really went over a year with no time off. And just recently I took 5 days off with my husband, and we actually ended up in an area with no Wi-Fi and no cell service. And so I was forced into actually taking some time off.
Okay, so that's excellent, right? Because we all know, I mean, if you know anything about self-care and self-love, you need to unplug, right?
Yeah.
That is the only way you truly can force yourself to unwind.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I know I'm so much better for it, but my solution to unplugging was always taken off to Mexico. And so when that was taken away, I was like, oh, I got to figure something else out, right? Like,
yeah. So do I leave my phone at home, or what do I do? Yeah. Good for you. Well, I'm glad to hear that you found that time. Speaking of self-care and self-love, obviously you promote that through your yoga studio.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. I know myself, I've heard it. And it's a common conversation in the classes that I've taken, right? Like it's all part, and it's not yoga. It's not a yoga thing.
No,
right. I think
it's a human thing. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so I really like that you promote it through your classes and through your sisterhood, your circles that you offer. I think it's incredible. Do you think you'll be offering any more of that? Do you think you'll add more of the sisterhood circle self-love combination?
Yeah, that's some of the first things we're actually adding back. So yeah, we have walk, talking yoga starting this week, which is going to be walking and yoga, but also sisterhood conversation, really what do we need? How can we support each other? All of those lovely things. And then I have a full moon circle, which is all around community and sisterhood and self-love and intention setting and all that. And then Mandy Cronin and I are leading a 1-day retreat, which is going to be at Kingswood Park. And we're doing all self-love, forest bathing, mindfulness, art journaling, just all that stuff to really get in the body. And so, yeah, I do believe that's where my journey is going to take me more. And that's one blessing from the pandemic, is I have realized that the studio can run itself if I let it. And so that gets me back to more of my happy place of teaching, because that's really where I want to be. I always tell people, if you want to be a teacher or a yoga studio or a speaker or whatever, or a yoga teacher, don't open a studio, because you don't get to do any of that stuff because you're running the day to day, right? But
yeah, I could see that, because when I register for classes, I always look, is Trista teaching?
Yeah.
Right. I want to take those classes, right? And that may be because you are the owner. I don't know, but and I mean, you always make yoga look so easy, right? And I mean, some of those poses I struggle with, and I look at you and I think, okay, well, Trista does it so easily. Why can't I move like that? I love yoga, by the way.
Just a practice.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit about fashion.
Yeah.
What do you think your fashion style says about you?
Honestly, comfort and I don't know what the other word is, functional. Comfort and function. I'm pretty laid back. I've never been super great at fashion or following trends. I've always tried to like wear just like what looks good on my body. And probably for the last 6 years, I've lived in yoga pants and t-shirts. And sometimes I'll put on like cute little dresses with leggings and things like that. But for most part, for me, it's about function and comfort.
Well, I over the last year, it's been comfort for everyone.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping for is that women become more like you. They become more about what looks good on me, what I feel good in, right?
Yeah.
Instead of wearing what's in style, because what's in style isn't always what is good for us, right?
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping that the pandemic is going to shift a lot of the style. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping it's coming to an end soon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Trista, this has been great. I love you. I'm just going to say that.
Well,
I love,
you.
From the first time, okay, I was, recommended your studio, and it was across the city for me. Like, it's a 40-minute drive, your old location. When I went there the very first time, I was like, I felt amazing. I just felt like this is where I have to be when I do my yoga. And I was new to yoga at the time. Mm-hmm. So I love it. I love, what your studio stands for. I love the way it makes me feel when I'm there. And you're always so warm and welcoming. And I love that. I love that about you. So I've been really, really happy with the experience I've had with your studio. So this was a great interview. You gave me all your contacts. We'll put it in the show, your Facebook and everything. And thank you.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.